Sure.
I did something dangerous a couple hours ago I wanted to talk to you guys about. It had been a slightly earlier morning for me than usual, nothing crazy. I'd gotten a lot of things done throughout the day, and about 3 o'clock rolled around. I thought, you know what I could use real quick? I could use a quick little power nap. I go ahead and let my head hit the pillow, see what happens. It's dangerous, not because I'm really actually afraid that I'm going to sleep through an alarm and just not be here for the show. That's never happened. I don't take these little, mid-Tuesday, Thursday power naps very often, but today it got me. And at some point in what must have been a decent...
what?
Oh, no.
Go ahead,
yeah,
Josh.
no, I know.
Oh,
This is Seth's
what?
fault, everybody.
Sorry.
Seth, why did you do that during my cold
Why'd
open?
you do
Seth,
that?
I didn't
Seth,
think
I had
Nate
a
would.
funny... Seth,
I didn't think Nate would just start talking during. Which you know what? Never mind.
Yeah,
It's on
Seth. Yeah, Seth. Whose fault is this really?
me. I don't know. Mine. I suck. I'm sorry. I'm a failure.
All right, that's better.
Yes.
That's better than what I had anyway. Welcome to what will certainly be a contentious episode of Only Weird Games. The best cold open I've had in months. No one gets to hear because Seth and Nate both have a specific type of self-control that everyone wishes their teammates had that level of self-control. You can't expect it in all circumstances. Hey guys, how you doing?
Good. All right, tell me the story. I'm sorry.
No, it wasn't your fault, Nate. I'm not mad at you.
No, just tell me the story, because look, as someone who attempted for about 30 minutes to put a 3-month-old into a nap, I can only imagine what it was like on the other side of this. So to walk me through it, because a nap sounds amazing to me, because once Noah naps, I can't nap. That's the catch-22 of it all. So walk me through your nap, man, because I really need it. I need it real bad.
Thanks, Nate. I really appreciate that. And you are a good friend. Oh, Seth, you had something to add?
No, I don't. Everything I touch, it dies or is ruined. So we might as well just keep it moving.
That's not true. Just bits and opens.
Yeah.
And occasionally segments of podcasts. But it's not everything.
It's not everything. No.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I'd love to hear about your nap as well.
Yes.
Oh, thanks, guys. That's what I really needed to hear that from both of you. I needed to know that you were both really invested in my nap. Mm-hmm. Well, so, today was an off day also. No news from Chiefs camp. Yesterday was a light day. So anyway, today I took a nap. I can take a nap easy. My head hits the pillow. I'm out in 5 minutes. It annoys Renee to no end, as I apparently she, is staring at the ceiling at 2 a.m. and I've been snoring loudly for several hours. I can't imagine what's keeping her up, but I'm sleeping like a baby. So I go ahead and get a little bit of shut-eye before the show here today. And somewhere in one of those apparent nice deep REM cycles, I had a dream that I just think we need to break down a little bit. I don't know, Seth, maybe I can win you back by you getting your Joseph on, and you can go ahead and tell me kind of what's going on here.
Absolutely.
I had a dream that I was in some way, shape, or form, not that this is a rare thing in real life, but I was in some way, shape, or form not really prepared for this show. Great. My stress dream was Only Weird Games based. The strangeness only evolved from there, though. I remember, and maybe I had overslept in the dream as well, and that was kind of a problem. But I remember being very stressed, seeing something in a message from Tucker to talk about the Joe Burrow news. I don't know what this is. In the dream, I don't know what this is. And then to get to everything else. I can't remember anything else on the rundown. And this might be like, all right, Josh, so you had a stressful dream about hosting a podcast. Why did that stick with you? Because at some point, I zoom out far enough to, as I am hosting the podcast, trying to multitask, I am then swerving through cars on a highway, nearly wrecked. I realize in this moment, I'm doing this podcast on a motorcycle. I've never ridden a motorcycle, despite the
That
way
would
I
do
look.
numbers.
Are you a she rice?
Also,
No,
don't do that.
don't do that. I'm doing it on my phone. There's no
What?
way. I don't have a good microphone. The logic of the dream falls apart very quickly. But I realize I am
are you
swerving.
going? Are you going F1 fast or
Yeah, I think I
NASCAR
had
fast?
I had seen an Instagram reel a day or two ago of a guy, like with the helmet cam driving terribly irresponsibly through traffic. My brother's just recently mentioned that he was looking at motorcycles. Two of my best friends are motorcycle guys. I'm not a motorcycle guy. If you are, that's cool. It seems way too dangerous for me. I don't trust other drivers that much. But
Yeah.
apparently, somewhere in my subconscious, I can be utterly unprepared for the event at hand.
Yes.
I'm ready to host a podcast on a motorcycle if necessary. That's what I learned about myself today.
Great.
I believe it.
Perfect.
Was that worth it?
yes.
That was
Clearly.
definitely worth it. And you can't. Sometimes your receivers just run the wrong routes and drop passes, or your left tackle loses to the same move over and over again. And the fact that you've been able to persevere despite your surrounding cast
circumstances. Yes.
is a testament to your will to survive.
And yet they
And
don't
so-
appreciate you enough anyway.
Yeah, I just found out my podcast host rating is 95 this year, and I'm so angry. There are
He
some
was doing
podcasters
it
ranked ahead of me who
On
I'm
a
furious about.
motorcycle.
Don't podcast on a motorcycle, everybody. I don't even know if you should listen to a podcast on a motorcycle. That's genuinely just outside of my. Seth, let me ask you this: did you have a motorcycle phase?
I did not. I am not someone who rides scooters very successfully. There's actually a pretty
You never
funny
thought just
story.
put a rocket engine on the back of one of these? And
Yeah, one of the first times that I met my in-laws, they at the time had these like little Vespas that they scooted around on. And I drove to the end of their block, and the way their block ends is it's like a T, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you got to turn left or right, and there's a house there, and like it's lawn. And I couldn't turn successfully. So I drove onto this person's lawn, and they had one of those old school big metal sprinklers that's like built into the ground. And I ran into that and crashed the Vespa. And then I just laid there. And like, so you got to remember, I was 22. And so like in that phase where I still cared about looking cool. And this is a girl that I just started dating.
Looking
not too-
hard, not cool.
And
I
like-
look so hard right now on this Vespa.
And so I
look
I
at these
just-
straps.
I just laid down on my back, just like looking at the sky, thinking, Lord, just kill me now. Just send a lightning bolt from Zeus himself. I may be mixing and matching theology here, and just put an end to it. And
Oh
the
my
Lord, in
God.
his infinite wisdom and mercy, decided to grant me a little more time. Well, in the meantime, my future father-in-law, who, by the way, was younger then than I am now, which, I mean, that was a rough conversation for me.
Right.
He-
right.
that gave me chills.
He and Jazz are back there, and Jazz goes, because I laid on the ground, Jazz is like, he's hurt. Let's go
He's
over
dead.
there. And Nick,
He's
and
dead.
so she wants to hop in the truck and come over there and see if we can. And Nick, who, I thought of as very old at the time, but was like 38, but was smart enough, the same way
38.
that I would know now, was smart enough to be like, nope, he's fine. He does not want you. I guess he said to her,
Go check
he's like,
on the
Jazz,
Vespa.
He does not want you to drive over there right now.
Yeah,
And he was
can't-
absolutely
you can't see him in this
right.
state.
Like, because I already wanted to be shuffled off this mortal coil and had my new, by the way, smoking hot girlfriend.
Hey.
Had she come over right then to be like, are you okay? Was that too much bike for you or something? I honest to God would have died of embarrassment. And I don't get embarrassed easily. Like, I'm a walking meme. I have been since I was like 17. I don't care. I was so embarrassed. And when you don't get embarrassed often, you don't know how to handle it. So I took us on a bit of a journey there, and I apologize for that.
I'm so glad I asked that question, though. I
have never even tried to ride a motorcycle since then because I can't handle the abject humiliation. I just to this day, my father-in-law, it was so bad. He didn't even make fun of me that day. He waited 2 years, and I knocked up his daughter in the meantime.
I'm good.
And he still didn't make fun of me about that. That's how bad it was.
I'm going to encourage you to look at the comments, Seth.
No.
Yeah, I'm going to encourage you to do that.
I clicked over to the comments because in a rare self-conscious moment, I went to how did Dream Talk do for the chat? Was that good for them? I can't tell if that was a good story or not. And then Seth's story happened, and it was all worth it. I don't care if you like my story or not. That visual picture of Seth laying next to a presumably banged up Vespa, just laying in the ground, hoping his future father-in-law will just come over and throw a tarp over him.
Just put a bullet in my head, man. Just end it all. Drive over there and John Wick me. Just
drive over me with the other Vespa.
Drive over with the other Vespa. I don't care. It would be a mercy killing. It's I was Old Yeller out there. Just put me down, man. It was, it's just so bad. I am literally embarrassed thinking about it.
What a story of triumph.
Story of triumph.
Yeah,
I
do
suppose.
Here.
And we're
won.
still, that's a solid point. She did still marry me against her better judgment.
Yep.
And so apparently,
man, I would love to get her side of the story someday too. I've got an enormous number of questions from her perspective. Nate, did you have any two-wheel based confessions you need to get off your chest before we talk about the wide receivers?
Not to either of your guys' degree. I
had a nice nap. Seth almost pre-deleted his entire family.
Yes, Seth's Sons of Anarchy Keysor. I'm lucky the phrase "that's an ick" didn't exist back then. Yeah. Because then Jazz would have known how to voice the feelings she assuredly had to have had. She assuredly had to have been ew. So if I ever ask myself, does Joshua Zylstra imagine deciding to procreate with those kids? Oh, smokes!
And guess what, Joshua? Still won.
Still did it. Still did it. That's how you know. Seth's got it.
Yep. The last time I was on a two-wheeled automo, machinery was in Italy, because of course.
Oh yeah.
And it was me and Holly. Holly's first time on a Vespa. She got to fulfill her Italian dream, and we're in a small town outside of maybe Florence. Maybe Florence. I can't
Florence
remember.
is so great.
So great. It was very hilly. The Italian village was exactly the way I wanted it to be. Yes, they looked at me quite strange because why is this black man on a Vespa? But that's neither here nor there.
Why is this a black man on a Vespa? Yeah.
I don't think that helped.
That is literally how they talk. I'm sorry.
That is how they talk.
That is how they talk. That's not a caricature. That is the first time I had an Italian dude walk up to me and speak in English. I thought I was being punked. I was like, is he mocking me because I'm an American? But no, that's how they talk. And it's awesome. It is 100% cooler than how we talk. It is way cooler.
So we got on like a straightaway near like a mini highway, you could say. And in my mind, at my advanced age at the time, 35, 36, whatever, it was an understanding of I just thought I get why people love motorcycles, obviously, but if this Vespa's going this speed, what can a motorcycle do? And man, do you know how good of an NBA player Jason Williams would have been had he not gotten on a motorcycle? That was my thought process. So I'm gonna tell you guys that it was, excuse me, Holly has just corrected me. It was technically my first time on a Vespa. She had been on a Vespa in New York City, obviously.
Okay.
But she still got to fulfill her Italian dreams on a Vespa. And it's not great when at 5:04 your wife's already editing you. So, sorry.
Hey, at least you could ride the thing.
Yeah, we didn't get in an accident. We
You
went
know what?
by some
You know what
really
Seth would have
nice
loved,
places. Yeah.
Seth would have loved to get a text from his wife about how his story wasn't honest to God accurate. He would have loved a text from Jasmine. I don't remember it that way. It wasn't that embarrassing.
I'm leaving you. Huh.
Next text, for real this time.
All right.
Next text.
For realsies. Oh.
You can either buy me a Vespa or I don't know.
Well, I don't desire to be on a motorcycle really at all. I mean, now there are a bunch of people that I see on I-29 in a motorcycle of a certain age, I guess maybe going to training camp, and I just, good for you guys. Good for you guys. I mean,
it's extremely cool. I know,
it's
but that
very
lady
cool.
Looks, I just don't think I'm built for it.
That lady looks too old to be strapped her arms around you on I-29. Just okay. I mean, Rachel. Oh, I've seen those folks. Yeah, they're out here going to training camp and then getting back on the Harley. It must be intoxicating because I just can't be me in this life. I'm sorry, guys. I would rather be on a bicycle than a motorcycle.
So I think we can all agree that we will just continue calling Seth Old Yeller from here on out. I've been calling him that behind his back for years, actually.
Yeah.
But Old Yeller, slightly younger Yeller, and then the youngest Yeller is what I'm going to call myself. As long as this is the three of us on this show, I can always be the youngest of the three of us.
Yeah.
Let's talk about something that you put out in front of the little piece of training camp red meat you dangled out in front of the fan base on Tuesday, Nate, with the wide receiver room.
Yes.
Obviously, again, so Tuesday we had like a lot to talk about. Then
Yes.
Yesterday was a 10-10-10 practice, very short and
Thank you, Lord.
very limited news out of that. We can I might just mention it at the top, even though it's on the rundown. The punter battle is over. Matt Araiza is the guy. The Chiefs had some tryouts, ended up signing one of the tryout receivers. Xavier Worthy and Hollywood Brown both didn't practice on Wednesday, which Nate told us on Tuesday was very likely to happen. I think we officially got word that Worthy was in the concussion protocol. I don't think we had that on Tuesday.
Yes, that was the only real news item from yesterday was that, hey, the reason he's not practicing today is, and we'll get more clarification on this, but the presumption is he finished Tuesday's practice, and so as we all should be aware now, concussion symptoms can start hours after the initial event. It's probably the easiest way to say it. So that must have occurred, and due to our history and understanding of concussions, you do not need to be, you don't need to be practicing. So it might be a while for him to return. And I think I said this on 96.5 The Fan, Josh, but I don't think Xavier Worthy had a concussion last year. If so, it does not come to mind. So this is his first concussive event as an NFL player, which is also something you have to take in consideration too.
Yep. So obviously something we'll keep an eye on, not something that as things stand right now, either him or Hollywood, not things you expect to be long absences, and you hope that they're not nagging, ongoing things. But that does, I think, do two things for the receiver room. One was your conversation at the back end of the depth chart right now, who are going to be those leaders in the clubhouse for those final couple of spots. And now I do think there's a little something. Let's say Worthy and Hollywood aren't out there for a few practices. There are some first team reps to be picked up by somebody in that conversation. Yes. So just to set the stage even further, Xavier Worthy and Hollywood Brown, obviously on the team. Rashee Rice, obviously on the team, but a pretty good chance he's suspended and not one of your roster spot guys at that point.
He would be a roster exception on day one, yes.
So I'm kind of putting Rice in a different category because you're probably keeping 6 receivers if you got reason to. It seems like the Chiefs will.
Right.
So Worthy and Hollywood, Jalen Royals, Juju Smith-Schuster, 4 locks. That means you've got 2 open spots if Rice gets suspended. Maybe just 1 if he doesn't, but we're kind of expecting that he will.
Yes.
You said on Tuesday that Tyquan Thornton is on the team right now. Dave Tobe has basically said Nico Remigio will get pulled out of his cold, dead hands if necessary, but not a moment before. And it seems like Nico's kind of in that McCole Hardman space of like, hey, we'll put you in here to run these routes. And he understands the offense. He's been in the offense longer than the other guys he's competing with. Tyquan Thornton has actually been in the offense longer than your Elijah Badgers and the rest of the guys on the back end, these absolute newcomers, because Thornton joined late last season. I'm really interested in Thornton just to see if he can do anything for this offense? Can he do the Justin Watson stuff since he's gone now? Let's start from the top side. Is there room for Jalen Royals to get more work in these next few days if the injury ahead of him does open up that spot? Is Nico going to get more work there? Does anything change when you say, hey, got a few extra reps with the ones? Who's going to get those? What's interesting to you there?
Yeah, I think the leading candidate has to be Tyquan Thornton. Just because, and I want to make this clear, yes, Jason Brownlee's on the roster, but for all intents and purposes, he is your tallest receiver. Think about that. He is 6'2". That is their tallest receiver.
That would be surprising with 31 NFL teams.
I just have to believe at this point he is as good of a, X receiver as I guess you could have in this offense, even though we've talked before, what does the X actually mean in this offense if your name is not Marquez Valdes-Scantling? So I would say he has,
or even if it is.
I knew it was coming. And that is 98 on the corner. That's a strike, guys. So
still can't drive a Vespa, but I've still got my fastball.
even Marquez Valdes-Scantling in the box would say, yeah, that's a strike. So I think he's the best example. Yes, I know some people are asking. You will definitely see Skyy Moore. He was with the ones on Tuesday when it mattered, and particularly in the red zone, which I found to be interesting with the ones.
This time it'll probably be different.
I think Jalen Royals.
Sorry, I'm so crappy. I'm sorry, guys.
I think Jalen Royals will do just fine, but it's clear to me that they might give him a couple more practices before they quote unquote overload him in essence. So again, I wouldn't be surprised if Nico's in the mix more. I expect a lot from Tyquan Thornton. Yes, you have Skyy Moore, who is still relevant, ladies and gentlemen, until proven otherwise.
I should have mentioned him, honestly, especially in that specific. He's been in the offense. Does he have a chance to be in the offense this year? Because those are different questions.
Well, if I were the Chiefs, I would do the best I could to do right by Skyy Moore, which is we are going to feature you heavily in the first 2 preseason games and see how it goes. If everyone is healthy, even if Rashee Rice at that point has been suspended or not, let's give Skyy Moore a bunch of time on the field, not even in a chance to flip him, but to understand that,
are they doing like a human pyramid thing, or
this is the last part. This is the last year of his rookie contract. He is a 2nd-round pick that has largely underperformed. And so
reports he's a great teammate and a really good dude.
The best part, Skyy Moore literally said hello to me less than a week ago.
I'm sure he's a good guy
on campus.
And doesn't really deserve to have an out of shape 40-year-old taking pot shots.
So, and I
he can drive a Vespa.
I bet he can drive.
I bet he could too.
So I bet his wife didn't just leave him by text.
So Amir Smith-Marset is the high mark for Skyy Moore, in my opinion. Whether he can do that or not, well, you got to give him a chance.
Getting traded to Carolina for a conditional pick is a heck of an upside.
Look, guys, look.
I think Smith-Marset's in New York still. I think he's stuck around a little bit. But.
Brent Tillis is still in Carolina, guys. Ryan Poles is still in Chicago, guys. Eric Bieniemy is out there, right? I mean, he's not in the league, but he's out there.
He's there.
This is not
Eric Bieniemy is in Chicago. All I'm saying is, guys,
none of those guys played him either. Just for what it's worth.
There's a pipeline in Washington where Skyy Moore could be valuable if Terry McLaurin never shows up. I don't know. Somebody's going to get hurt. The 49ers could always use another wide receiver. Thank you, Chris.
They signed Andy Isabella today.
It's an 8-inch wide pipe, but sure.
I mean, come on. I mean, yeah. So, put him out there. Let's see how he looks. Yeah, Doug Peterson is in Jacksonville. Sure. This is great. The commenters are doing an excellent job. Mike's in Tennessee. Mike Bergonzi. I need bodies. Okay. So if you're ever gonna feature Skyy Moore, now is the time. Because I just don't anticipate he's gonna be on the roster because Tyquan Thornton's had a very good training camp so far.
I just want to apologize for the way I'm comporting myself today.
Skyy Moore is really nice. He's always been professional. He's always come up and chatted with me.
He deserves better than what he's currently getting from me. He's caught a touchdown in the Super Bowl.
Yes.
And I mean, all that had to happen for that to happen. I think the point that we're trying to get to is that I just want everyone to be aware that it's really a problem for me when I start getting laughs, especially from Josh and Nate. It's hard to stop, but I'm going to now. It's like that feeling I get like when I'm every now and then I'll do Pulpit Supply, and if I'm preaching and I get a quick laugh, and I'm like, ooh, that was nice. And then you want to like tell another joke.
And then another thing.
And another thing. And
have I told you guys about my wife?
Yeah. Oh man, the church is tired of hearing about my wife too. The thing with
like
the
reason in common.
This is the short story here would be, I mean, he's been at the kind of the bottom of the wide receiver room the last year and a half.
Or 2
years or 2. Well, I mean, I think they came in 2023 thinking that he was going to maybe make a big jump. He had a great training camp, and just his functional strength has never really reached the point where it needs to be. And as good as his releases are, he hasn't been able to.
It's that other thing.
Well, he's just not able to maintain separation when he grabs it off the line. And he's functionally, he's not very strong, and that's just problematic. You need like a thing to overcome that, and he hasn't found it here. But I do think what's happening with Remigio and with Thornton, so you have those two for sure. You obviously have the 3 main guys who might, and then Juju Smith-Schuster.
I
mean, unless they carry 7, I just don't see it.
I think they have to carry 7 because there's not a guarantee they're going to carry 4 at the tight end position as well.
With Tunyon catching everything in the red zone,
I still got to see it. Okay, because one thought is you could let me look at the years of experience for Robert Tunyon. Look, man, you're gonna do it.
Look that up.
You're gonna do us a favor. You've been in the league 7 years, man. Give me your phone. All right, we're cutting you. You'll get your phone back on Tuesday. They could always do that, which is something I think people have to understand. You could cut Robert Tunyon and just say, look, you'll be back on Tuesday, all right? We just got to move some things around. We're going to put this guy on practice squad, But, like, are we going to feature Robert Tunyon in the preseason? Get out of here.
You guys know why Seth's been so grumpy today?
Why have I been so grumpy today, Josh?
Because you're too tired.
Can't we take a break?
Let's take a break.
Looking for tickets for your next event? Tickets for Less is your #1 source. Save big on every purchase when you use promo code KCSN at ticketsforless.com.
Success in real estate takes more than vision. It takes the right financial partner. When someone takes something rundown and turns it into something great, that's called a comeback story, like Brain Group. They take distressed properties here in KC, completely rework them, and then turn them into valuable real estate. But that kind of work needs the right bank behind it. Enter Emprise Bank. They're not about cookie-cutter loans. They saw Brain Group's vision, backed them, and now they're making big moves in Kansas City real estate. Talk about your partner in possible. Emprise doesn't do one-size-fits-all financing. They invest in potential and back growth. Visit emprisebank.com/KC to learn more. Emprise Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Folks, nothing beats hanging out with the boys on a hot summer day and watching some baseball. And the simplest way that you all can get in on the action is to download the Pick 6 app from DraftKings. It is crazy simple. Just pick more or less on the stats for 2 or more of your favorite players, and boom, you're in the mix for big cash prizes. And the best part is Pick 6 is available right here in Missouri. Don't miss out on the fun. Don't settle for a smaller payout. Switch to Pick 6, and right now, new customers can get $25 in bonus picks with their first deposit of $5. Here's what you got to do. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and then use code KCSN. That's code KCSN for new customers to get $25 in bonus picks with their first deposit of $5. Better payouts, bigger wins, only with Pick 6 from DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Void where prohibited. New customers only. Minimum $5 deposit. Bonus picks expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
I know how we're going to get Seth back on the right side of this. I know how we're going to get his energy back where it needs to be. I know how we're going to give this show the juice that it needs for the second half push.
Yes.
The Chiefs are going to sign Keenan Allen and acknowledge the fact they can't count on Hollywood Brown's health or Juju Smith-Schuster to get open.
Come on.
No. Well, I was going to ask you to talk about Chris Jones, but that sounded like a real take, Seth.
That is a real take, but it'll never happen in a million, billion, jillion years. And I've heard Juju looks great at camp this year. Which
he looks Juju-y. Looks very Juju.
Does he look 2022 Juju-y or 2024
I
Juju-y?
didn't say that, Seth. I said he looks Juju-y.
You know, the more we're saying
fine.
that phrase, the more nervous I'm getting.
You're getting nervous? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not.
Why?
I'm not sure to say.
He's looking Smith-Schuster-y, Seth.
Yeah, he's looking just fine. You know, he you know what? The best part, other than, you know, in 2022, Juju Smith-Schuster was obviously the Chiefs' like one of, if not their top receiver, and he was working himself to be that, right? Because he's basically running gassers every year, you know, every practice at training camp. And then he said, "Hey man, I thought Mike Tomlin did this hard. This is harder." So you know what he's doing in 2025? Not that. Getting ready for the season. Okay? What is required? That is what's necessary. I'm Juju Smith-Schuster.
And that is great, unless Hollywood Brown misses time. Now, here's the thing. If Xavier Worthy is healthy,
Yes.
and he's built on last year, great, unless Hollywood Brown misses some time while Rashee Rice is suspended, and then we're right back to where we were last year, except, of course, with a future Hall of Famer at left tackle.
Yeah,
So,
and you have Jalen Royals. Don't forget about him. I mean, come on.
that absolutely. And Royals sounds like he's playing well. So
Yeah.
that was me being whatever. I would love to talk about Chris Jones. I know that a new Chris Jones stat dropped today.
Yeah.
Do you want me to set that up real quick just so I can put it out in front and just say what it is
Yes.
here real quick? It's just going to set you up. It's going to set you up properly. Seth Walder tweeted it out today. He said, apropos of nothing other than realizing I never tweeted the defensive tackle win rate / double team chart from the 2024 season. Here it is. And you can all guess where Chris Jones is. One axis is the pass rush win rate. You want to be all the way up there if you can. The other axis is the double team rate, where the best players are getting double team more. They're over on the right side. You could be, of course, Zach Allen, for example, and DeForest Buckner.
Very
both
good.
have very high pass rush
Very
win rate,
good.
but their double team rate is on the left side of the chart. Top right corner, completely alone, a unit of measurement removed from Leonard Williams and Quinnen Williams and Vita Vea.
All
Chris
good players.
Jones, great players. The best non-Chris Jones players at this position. Not particularly close to Chris
Close.
Jones in terms of he has the best pass rush win rate, and I think probably call him the fourth most double teamed defensive tackle on this list, and that's schematic, that's talent, that's who else you've got. Chris Jones gets all the attention, and he still wins more than anybody else. It's just a good time to talk about Chris Jones, Seth.
It's an awesome time to talk about Chris Jones, in part because, and this lets us kind of circle back to the whole football 201 stuff that we talked about.
Yep.
Because it's demonstrative that Jones was as dominant as ever last year when the coverage unit took a step back. Let me tell you guys something. I like George Karlaftis. Without Chris Jones, last year. The defense, it could have gotten ugly. Because of some issues they had with the corners last year, which, thank God Christian Fulton's here, and everything's solved.
You'll see him soon. You'll see him soon. Don't worry.
That does make you feel better. Thank you, Nate.
It does.
That worked.
The man actually asked people today, "Hey man, where can I get some good wings?" He's almost back, guys. Don't worry. He's almost back.
Good.
That does make me feel good. So, oh man, another bot in the comments. I'm feeling good. Whoa, Tucker banned that within like 0.3 seconds. The D stands for fast.
Denial.
That's so much better. So,
I mean, it does start with a D, so.
Well, that's been my bit though. Is I just say things. I don't.
I just thought you couldn't think of words that started with a D.
No, this is my bit. I say things that don't make sense. Like, you've known me for 7 years, Josh.
I'm not surprised to find out this was all a quote bit.
Golly. Where was it? Oh, so Chris Jones. The thing to note when you've got that high double team rate and that high win rate, still, it's demonstrative that you are the thing that everyone's game planning for.
Yes.
Your team, it signifies that. It also signifies your team doesn't have another even really upper tier pass rusher. I like George Karlaftis. We went over this. I'm glad they paid him. George Karlaftis is a guy, if he's your third best pass rusher, you're cooking with gas. If
you might be the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah. If he's your second best pass rusher, you might be in trouble because he doesn't win at a 1-1 run rate the way that you'd like to see. We talked about that. It shows that you can be that dominant and still only get 5 sacks. If there's some coverage struggles, which there were last year, if you don't have another dominant pass rusher, which there wasn't last year, and then they were missing their second best pass rusher in Amenahu,
right?
Big part of the year. And when he came back, he wasn't quite as explosive as he'd been. So
I mean, he was coming off an ACL that Seth said.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
time.
It would have been weird if he was, which is a point I was trying to make earlier last offseason that turned into, got completely out. It was like, that was the Vespa of my late 30s, was the Charles Amenahu discourse. It just went completely out of control.
Remember you crashed a Vespa in front of your girlfriend and then her dad for a bit?
Also, too, Seth, I want to remind people, too, like, wherever Chris Jones was, that was either where you were blitzing based on the protection scheme, or that's where you were blitzing elsewhere because the protection scheme pinpointed on Chris Jones, which meant, hey, you think you got it all figured out on that nice little Vespa, Bo Nix, but here it comes, baby. Here it comes.
Here comes a T-shaped street.
And in the name of Nick Bolton.
So
easily avoidable.
Doesn't move terribly fast.
You trying to change directions against Nick Bolton? Get out of here.
No, I'd kill you. No, absolutely. That was just a little joke.
So
I love Nick Bolton.
It's
do you know that I know Nick Bolton's Starbucks order? That's how trading camp's going.
Man, if he's anything other than just like 6 shots of espresso poured directly into his mouth, I'd be shocked.
If people want to take a guess, I'll let them take a guess. But
is this a betrayal of confidence? I just can't imagine that he's got like.
I just had a nice little chat with Nick Bolton about.
That's great. I love that.
Of Starbucks orders, because what you realize, ladies and gentlemen, is I can't caffeinate anywhere in St. Joseph past 2:00. That isn't Starbucks.
I don't think you can have cream in your coffee and then go practice outside in St. Joe.
No, this would all be post practice. This would all be
okay. All right,
post meetings.
Yeah, all right. That opens.
But I'm just saying, like if you want a coffee after practice, that's not on campus, and then you look at your phone and it's like 2:30. You're like, well, I can't go anywhere. It's just Starbucks. I guess you can go to a local gas station. Don't do that. But yeah, it was
Some of
cool.
my favorite meals are from gas stations, and I'm a picture of health. So
or the NFL for that matter. NFL starting linebacker.
And so the thing with Chris Jones, that chart, it's demonstrative of how dominant he still is, but it also is demonstrative in something we can learn about football, that pass rush is about more than one guy.
Yes.
If you even look at Aaron Donald's stats over the years, his sack numbers were weirdly consistent for an interior defensive lineman. But even he had years where they dipped below double digits. And it's not because he suddenly became bad at his job. It's because sacks are so dependent on everything else that goes on around you. If you've got a situation where, you beat a double team, which Chris Jones does frequently, you get in the pocket and the quarterback's like, well, no one else is here, so I'm just going to move this way.
Right.
And
where you're not over here.
so Chiefs do need more juice in their pass rush, and they knew that. I mean, there's a reason they took Omar Norman-Lott and Ashton Gelati.
Just think how good Ashton Gelati is going to be when he doesn't have to go against Josh Simmons.
I feel bad for Ashton Gelati because I loved his college tape. The one thing for me was, we talked about this when he was drafted. The reason he was available in the third with his tape and his pressure numbers, even his sack numbers at times, although that didn't translate this last year.
Right.
His tape was excellent. His tape was first-round worthy. It's just he's 6'2" and has like 32-inch arms. Now, the problem with that, you go up against a guy with good length and upper body power and fast feet. And it's just like, oh, what? My whole training camp.
Hello.
Hold on. Is Josh Simmons have athleticism and upper body power? And so I feel for him.
Or it could be.
Or it could be a fist right to the face. Nate is punching the camera for those who are listening. I feel bad for Ashton Gelati because that's what he's known for right now, is that he's been Josh Simmons' punching bag during training camp. But they clearly knew they needed to up that.
Yes.
And part of that is you need someone else causing disruption on their own. Karlaftis is great at cleaning up disruption, and there's value to that.
Yes.
He creates some occasionally. They need someone who creates more often. And it's just another example of, to me, the fact that Chris Jones is in many ways, I genuinely believe this, one of the most underappreciated superstars that's ever been a Chief, because on a national level, it's been because he existed at the same time as Aaron Donald. He was the Josh Allen to the Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
And on the other hand, with Chiefs fans, I don't know why he's so underrated. I've heard there are some people that would even, like last year, rank Chris Jones third on their interior defensive line rankings.
No, sorry, not last year, Seth. Last night.
Last night. Was Craig?
I gotta turn my camera off again, man. Seth's out here to start beef day. That's all right.
Because there's no way that happened if Craig was there. This would have never happened if Craig was there when the lab did this.
Well, look, a lot of this is stat based, and so I think for Chris.
Well, I know known stat-based analysts Kent Swanson and Matty
I've been
Lane.
calling him that for a long time.
It's just like, oh, do we have to
okay.
watch the games? Well, look, he only had 5 sacks. He's no good. And
Craig had him
my-
third too. This is devastating.
Oh.
Kent had him at 2.
Thank you, Kent.
Okay, now you are doing a little bit of a projection with Jalen Carter. Dexter Lawrence is not the best defensive tackle in the league, guys. It's
Now Dexter Lawrence is awesome.
He's awesome, but he's not. But look,
Well, he's so good against the run. So
come on, here we go. But
here's in the year of our Lord 2025.
How many of Dexter Lawrence's defensive line teammates would be Chris Jones's best defensive line teammate?
All of them.
All of them, yeah. So
We can go to like.
I mean, if we read honest, I do want to say this: Jalen Carter is amazing, and he will most likely be the next guy. We're still living in a Chris Jones era, but go watch the Super Bowl, guys. I mean, against that just enormous offensive line, Chris Jones kind of tells you the story of what Seth is alluding to. If I'm not being pressured, if I have the threat of the running game, if I have Saquon behind me, if I have an all-pro offensive line in front of me, all I have to worry about is him. And then I can dictate what matchups I want that I know with Steve Spagnuolo are going to be some version of man-to-man, one-on-one, mano-a-mano on the outside. And if you give me a lead, well, then we can lean on you a bit more. And guys, there were still times where Chris Jones was getting immediate pressure on Jalen, and it did not matter because he could literally just go, I'll just go over here. And look, there's a pass. There's another completion. And like I can just do this. Or, hey, we can go play action. And even though Chris won his rep or his matchup or whatever, I mean, Devontae Smith has got 2 steps on Joshua, or excuse me, on Jalen Watson. So I'm going to put the ball up.
Right. I would just note for the commenters or for people listening, this is not the beginning of a feud. There's very few people in the world I trust more with
the
ball.
beginning of a feud. Have you been paying attention?
We did put them on screen.
I've been feuding with Kent for a decade.
Yeah, that's true. That's a solid point. But I mean, we can't be mad at Kent. Kent put him at 2.
No, my take actually now, Seth, sorry. My take, you got to be able to adjust new information. Chris Jones is either 1 or 3. That's my new opinion.
Yeah, there's no, yeah,
but 2? That's stupid.
Terrible.
Also, it is interesting. I can go look up Dexter Lawrence's stats if you want, and look, they are impressive. They're always behind, ladies and gentlemen. Always, they are always
a very good football
behind. Player. Yeah, but he's a very good football player.
Yeah, also a football player.
They had to sign him, but guys, do you know who his quarterback was last year? Yeah, he was going to get plenty of opportunities to pass the rest of the passer. Plenty. So I just, you can look at that both ways. I understand, but
maybe it's Chris Jones fatigue.
Yeah, we'll get there in a second.
I thought I would give you a window.
Yeah.
I did want to. Every once in a while, we're gonna see the reflection of a Vespa flash in Seth's pupils, and we're gonna know what exactly it is that's taking him over at that time. I wanted to take another beat on the rest of the Chiefs interior. Steven says lab versus weird games at a Vespa race. I don't think that's fair. Or maybe it's
no one wants that. No one wants that.
I don't want to do it, but I can get us from point A to point B, I think. Somebody earlier also may have been Steven. Someone asked what order we would all sit in if we were on a motorcycle together. And I think that really bears putting some thought into who's steering, who's holding on to the bag. I think Seth has to be in the middle just because it's the safest and the place where you can cause the least drama.
Where you put the child.
He can't be a wild card in this.
Yeah. I think it's really a bet between me and Nate who wants to drive, which is neither of us. So we're going straight into that sprinkler head also. I did want to, within the Chris Jones conversation, we choo-chooed the Omar Norman Lott hype train about a week ago. And like, this is an insane thing to say after 3 padded practices. We haven't seen or heard anything about Jerry Tillery. I'm not expecting to. We're going to find out what he looks like in this defense in week 1, not even in the preseason.
Jerry Tillery is on that Juju Smith-Schuster plan. I'm here.
Right.
I'm doing what's necessary. I'm here for my professional obligation. Let's move forward. Stay healthy, boys.
I'm very interested to see what he does, but we're not going to find that out in late July or early August.
No.
And then after that, it's still question marks. Mike Pennell had a great presser. We know exactly who he is as a football player, and in a good way. It's nice to have some certainty there. And then I don't know, Nate, if you've even got a nugget on the Fabian Lovett versus Marlon Tuipulotu battle for that roster spot. Maybe there's a path for both of them. I don't know. But
there's a path.
It's a bit of an interesting group, I think.
Yeah, one of the two needs to have a nice moment to stake their claim for a potential roster spot. Look, guys, I mean that'll be dictated largely by the preseason.
Mm-hmm.
I still think defensive end is slightly more interesting because the rotation of Omenihu and Gelati together. You still have George, you still have Mike Dana, because again, it's July 31st. This is seniority based. Janarius Robinson, I'm interested in. Obviously, I've given you my noise on FAU. So that's particularly, what happens with Malik Herring? Because there's an argument that the more consistent player will make less mental errors, will be in the right place more often, Malik Herring, versus the actual, I will make the occasional splash play, I might be able to set the edge. You're asking pass rush juice out of me in FAU. So, just, I don't think it's necessarily a competition. Just trying to give you the scouting report on either guy.
Hey, can we go back to the state of the wide receiver room?
Oh, sure.
Either of you guys want Terry McLaurin?
Yes.
Reports out now that Terry McLaurin has requested a trade. I'm just going to say now with no extra information, I assume he's not going anywhere because that would be an absolutely insane thing to do to Jaden Daniels. With that being said, this is already kind of a crazy thing to do to Jaden Daniels. This team is already incredibly old, and one of their slightly older than you'd like, but not extremely old, number one wide receivers. I was like, I'd like some money, please, with your quarterback on a rookie contract.
I would not trade him. I don't think he's going to get traded.
Nah.
But this encourages teams to make phone calls so that you can see what your actual value is on a somewhat restricted market so that you can go back to your employer and say, pay me my bleeping money, you dodos.
Right.
So I just want to tell you guys, that's the first move, or this is like the second move. First move is, I ain't showing up on time. You know what? And
I think this is the third move. I'm not showing up on time. I'm here to be a good soldier.
And
you
to be
don't
a
want to
prick.
pay me? Get me out of here. Yep.
Right. Yeah. And this is understandable because I just want to tell people the Chiefs do not have this problem right now. Look around the league, ladies and gentlemen. Are the Bengals going to pay this man? I guess they should. You got the thing in Washington going on. Jerry Jones doesn't even know who his best pass rusher is, or is unwilling to say it out loud. Is Matthew Stafford's elbow okay? Like, could someone
confirm for 3 straight years?
Can someone confirm that to me? I think the Eagles are in a great place. I think the Chiefs are in a great place. It's clear that like the Bears should be in a good place, but they're the Bears. So we'll see until proven otherwise. Is JJ McCarthy good? Because Justin Jefferson didn't say that out loud. Tua still doesn't like Tyreek Hill. I just want to give you a flavor of half the league doesn't know what it's doing. Okay? Which is still to the Chiefs' benefit. And hey, if the Chiefs want to jack up the price on Terry McLaurin so that he can get his money, then I guess you want to make a phone call or two. But this is I need to know what I'm actually worth, you dodos.
Well,
pay me.
And Cortland Sutton signing the deal that he signed. If you're the Commanders, you're gonna say, hey, Sutton's a really good player too. He took this kind of middle class type deal, like a George Karlaftis type deal. And if McLaurin's looking for more like the $30 million a year, I actually get where the Commanders are coming from. But then you find value.
Yep.
Rather than playing chicken.
Yep.
You know what Terry McLaurin can do? He can line up outside.
Man, he can win too. He can win outside too, boys.
He can win outside. He can win all of it. This is not, by the way, this is fan fiction. This is not, the Chiefs are not going to do this.
Don't tell me this is true, Alyssa. Don't tell me this is true. Don't break my heart. Come on, man.
I'm afraid to look.
Come on now. Don't make
Commenter
me
Alicia Marie says,
don't break my heart like this. He's going back overseas.
He is leaving the NFL to return to rugby. Someone check on Nate. I am checking on Nate.
40 seconds ago. Oh, I'm going to read the tweet.
Oh, come on.
I've got an exciting announcement. I've decided to leave the NFL and return to rugby. There will be more news to come soon, but for now, see you soon, rugby fans. All right, have a good night, everybody.
Yeah. Well, honestly, that was...
No! I'm hurt. No! I'm hurt, dog. I'm real hurt. I'm hurt. You telling me... Look how gorgeous he was when he was at Worlds of Fun, and this is how it is?
I'll be honest.
This is how it is?
I think this is...
I'm okay now.
Just to rub a little salt in the wound.
Oh.
I never thought he was that good looking.
What? He was everything I wanted and more. He loved Florida. He loved Worlds of Fun.
That is cool.
He had amazing hair, which he knew and would flip it in front of you, and you would
But
just
Josh does that.
you would just bask in his greatness. Did you see his thighs? Look at his thighs.
I get that from you.
I mean, well, yeah, but sometimes
I've replaced Louis Rees-Zammit in the
Seth,
aggregate.
Jazz isn't here. Okay, just you can let the facade down.
Well, yeah, no, we covered
what
that.
did
You left
what
me
did he
like
do to
40
you,
minutes ago.
Jacksonville? Y'all ain't even got 6 receivers. That's why you playing one guy on offense and defense, you dodos. What do you do wrong? Y'all
I can't
playing
believe-
London anyway. Come on.
The Jags had 2 Travis Hunters and let one of them leave. Devastating.
Devastated, man. Thank you, Alicia, I guess. Can we bring look, what if we do a rom-com? What if I book a ticket right now and get to him before he lands in Wales?
We have a Ted Lasso
And
situation.
said, come
brewing.
back.
Yeah.
Come
There's something to do
home.
here.
Come home to Kansas City, man. Look, come home. Come on back.
I don't even feel like doing this show. I'm gonna go back to bed and hope I get a dream where I'm on a motorcycle with Louis Rees-Zammit.
Nice.
This is no good for me. You guys want me to be angry about Patrick Mahomes for a second?
Yeah, let's do it.
A 95 in Madden, huh?
All right.
Not
so here's
even
the
the high.
thing. Here's the thing. Patrick Mahomes has not only been
I'm hurt, dog. I'm hurt.
Not only has he been ejected from the 99 club, already sort of preposterous, but whatever. If you only have 5 or 6 players in the 99 club, 1 player per position group max, I understand. You want to give it to the MVP or the whatever. I wasn't always going to be mad about this. But today I decided I was.
Yeah, let's do it.
I don't get my football analysis from Madden on a regular basis. This is not me thinking that Patrick Mahomes has actually been relegated because of how Madden and EA Sports view him. That's not what this is about. What is absolutely befuddling to me is how quickly we get bored with the coolest thing we've ever seen. And also how thinly veiled all sports analysis is. Because if Patrick Mahomes isn't above this, nobody is. Nobody ever gets to be above. Well, what's the last thing I remember seeing you do? The only way to do it is to try to, and apparently this has worked and it has bolstered some legacies. Win a Super Bowl and retire, or else you will have a final lasting memory of whatever muck you spend your final moments in an NFL football field on. Patrick Mahomes is not only not a 99 in Madden. All right, fine. He's not a 98. He's not a 97.
Okay.
99s, by the way, are Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. 2 99 quarterbacks, Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. Look, hey, neither one of them, actually, they were both so good last year, we couldn't figure out who to give the MVP to until the final hour of the year. Fantastic. Both great players. I love both of those players. 99. Mahomes wasn't a 98.
Yeah.
There was a quarterback with a 97, however. His name is Joe Burrow. Guys, I like Joe Burrow more than most people in this atmosphere that we occupy. I generally pro Joe Burrow. I'm not maybe not as much as Steve Spagnuolo, but I'm closer to Spags than I am Kent Swanson. Joe Burrow is a 97, and Patrick Mahomes comes in 4th with a 95. Here's what's crazy to me. Joe Burrow is there off of the eye test and vibes. You see him throw the ball to the best wide receiver duo in football, and you go, man, he's so good at this. He reminds me of Tom Brady. He has so many stats. He looks so good out there doing it. That man looks like a quarterback. He should be a 97. And I wouldn't be here talking about it if Joe Burrow was just a 97. That's fine with me. I'm okay with that. Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, incredible quarterbacks on so many levels. Haven't particularly won anything of note, but great quarterbacks. That's okay, fine. Patrick Mahomes now is getting the like Eli Manning treatment of, well, he's got a couple of rings in there. How many? Is it 3? I've seen him hoist a Lombardi trophy, but it's been a year. It's been a year since he did it twice in a row. The thing that is truly baffling to me about this, and the way that apparently no one can ever win, is that Patrick Mahomes is playing like Aaron Rodgers and winning like Tom Brady through this point of his career. And he's going to be in some ridiculous spot in the NFL 100. He's going to be 14th or something because our memories are gone. And he's the 4th quarterback in a 95 in Madden because it's been a year since he won back-to-back Super Bowls and is clearly the greatest quarterback of this generation. We just get bored. It just doesn't matter. What you do doesn't matter.
No. It's not 1 year, Josh. It's one game. It's the
right.
last game. It's the last game we saw.
Well, because the rest of last season was about dragging Kareem Hunt-led offenses to the Super Bowl. Kareem Hunt was great. This isn't his fault. There was no explosion in that offense. Joe Tooney was playing left tackle. The left guard in the Super Bowl is like guard 4 right now in training camp.
So think about this before I let Seth really cook here. He accounted for the most, again, the stat that blows my mind is he accounted for the most stats of any quarterback in relation to their offense all of last season. He accounted for like 72, I can look up the stat again, but like 72% of the entire offense passing and running. Obviously, yes, that includes Lamar Jackson kids. Yes, that includes Josh Allen. He had a bigger burden than anyone. And
with the worst supporting class.
And it was one game. Like, they lost to a unquestionably awesome team. Okay? Who
had in the chat, I really appreciate it. My blood sugar is at 97 right now, so this is all natural. I'm good. My blood sugar is exactly where it should be. My blood pressure, however, is through the roof.
Yeah, so it really comes down to one game because I think people, if we remove the Super Bowl, would have had to acknowledge that, yes, while Josh Allen played well in the AFC Championship game, Patrick Mahomes played better. And these things somewhat matter. So it really comes down to just one game. Go ahead.
What was your favorite Joe Burrow playoff performance from last year? Which one sticks in your mind? I don't want that. I don't want what I just did to be the standard of sports conversations because it really ignores the fact that defense last year started the 3 of us and 8 other dudes. Like that shouldn't be the metric.
And then one guy that they're refusing to pay.
And then one great player who doesn't want to be there.
Yeah, right.
That shouldn't be how we do this. But if we're going to do rings stuff, why doesn't Patrick Mahomes benefit from rings stuff? If we're going to do how it makes you feel to watch them play quarterback, Patrick Mahomes should also still be number 1.
And
they were the best offense on 4th down too, with the worst supporting cast among high-level offenses last year.
This is where I think you're right. The fact is that we feel the need to reevaluate things weekly, let alone yearly.
Oh.
And I think the thing that probably frustrates me the most, we talked about this, I think, a little last week or the week before, that we are a year removed from everyone saying we don't need to do this anymore. The Chiefs had a really tough 2023, and then Mahomes had an awesome playoff run, including a Super Bowl where after a tough pick, I mean, he was perfect down the stretch, and everyone's like, okay, it's him. There's Mahomes, Gap, and everyone else. And everyone's like, let's not do this for a little while. And then literally all it took was one season. And people suddenly changed that to, well, now that's 2 years in a row. It's like, no. We did this. We went through this. We said we weren't going to do this. And the funny thing is, we're also living in an age where people really should know better in terms of whether or not statistical analysis should be all encompassing with quarterbacks. There's never been more information available. And was Mahomes at his best last year? No, I don't think he was. I've started to do I got to get the Mahomes film review summary. Mm-hmm. And I think he wasn't as good as he was in 2022. I'm back and forth about 2023. But here's the deal. We feel the need to re-rank things constantly. And that's part of the problem. It's kind of to make myself sound old, it's the TikTokification of sports media is every week we got to re-rank these guys. He was the best. But is he the best right now in this second? Well, part of being the best is he might not be the best quarterback in an individual. When they played Bryce Young last year, Bryce Young might have played better than him. But that doesn't mean Bryce Young in this moment is a better quarterback.
Your Honor, given the current discussion right now, I am going to execute my 5th, 4th, and 19th Amendment, considering my employer.
Nobody put you on the stand, dude.
And that is a fair point. Both of them are. But I do think the Madden thing, and is it that big a deal? Not really. What I'm curious about, and I've told you guys this before, I would love to see a scorched earth Mahomes season. We haven't seen a scorched earth Mahomes season in 2 years, which that's the thing. Like we're 2 years removed from an MVP season, Super Bowl. Then the next year they won the Super Bowl, the perfect playoff round. Last year they went to the Super Bowl. He's also being gauged by a different standard than everyone else right now.
Right.
Any other quarterback has the season Mahomes has last year, and people are talking about how he carried the offense, or people are going to talk about how this, that, and the other thing. But instead with Mahomes, it's but it's not as good. And that being gauged by against yourself to negatively compare you to other quarterbacks is a ridiculous thing. But we'll see what happens. I mean, he said himself, right, that he's just kind of excited for football to start back up, because we'll see if they fix the issues. Right. And if they did, that sounds nice.
Everything you just said is perfect, exceptional. And yet I still think people discredit what he did in 2023 because his receivers refused to receive the ball.
Even the Lord Almighty himself needs you to accept the free gift of salvation.
There it is. All right, finally got that bingo box checked off, and this has officially been an entire episode of Only Weird Games here on KC Sports Network. Joshua Brisco is my name. Seth Keysor is his. You can read the Chief of the North newsletter, and then ChiefsFan.substack.com. And Nate Taylor of ESPN. He also gets the torch, as always, to get us out of here.
All right, guys. We will see where he lands on the top 100 list. Can't wait to look forward to it. I just want to remind you guys, and I know I was trying to be the tourism director of St. Joseph, Missouri last episode. I've seen Josh Allen do some crazy things, guys. And Lamar Jackson, you could argue if Lamar Jackson had a better supporting cast around him, he would have a better postseason success rate. Guys, he had the best play to me that I think about in regards to Mahomes that Madden should have considered is not from the postseason when they just let him do design runs just out of nowhere, and he was excellent at it. It's the game where, hey man, DJ Humphries hasn't played football in how long? Put him on the field. Hey man, I don't have Hollywood Brown. I don't have Xavier. I don't have Rashee Rice. We've been playing like all game. Hey man, that guy Jesse Minters is pretty good. You know what I'm gonna do? And I know this play mattered a lot to Bill Belichick at the time, and it still matters to me. I'm going to levitate on these hoes. I'm going to levitate, move to my left, continue in the air, and I'm going to find Xavier Worthy on third and 10?
95.
Just fourth quarter. I'm gonna just move to my left. I know my left tackle is not someone I should ever be playing with. I'll just levitate and find the rookie in the middle of the field because they're obviously tangoing Travis Kelce. Obviously, come on, But I'll just levitate, complete the pass, continue the drive, win the game. Hell, it doesn't even matter that my backup kicker doinked it into the uprights. But just another win. Just gonna keep levitating when they ask me to. Because that's what it was. That's what was required to win games last year. Required. I have to levitate. It's really
do something new. Get a new trick.
It's really interesting when Josh and Lamar have to start levitating when it matters. I wonder how they do that. How's that go? Because I'm levitating in November.
I I hope the Calvinists aren't mad at me about that accepting the gift thing.
Oh no, that's gonna be the worst part of this show.
No, that and the Vespa.